Hey everyone, Tauntaun back to bring another One Piece tournament match. This time we have another OP1 matchup disguised as an OP4 with Blue Crocodile facing off against Red Green Law. I start off the game by playing my starter deck Nami, which is of course the wrong Nami because the Nami you really want is the Searcher one, just to get your search engine going. And he won the high roll, and so even though I do want to go second, he does opt to go first because blue does have a chance to get that god curve when they go first. And with three cost Dofi being the first part of that curve. And as you can see, he can follow up the following turn with Zeph. And I'm going to show you my hand. And I flashed it a little too quick there, but it was not a great hand. I didn't have any searchers. I didn't have blocker laws. And so starting out, we were already in pretty tough position, and I think for a while I sped it up there, but I opt for the starter Zoro rather than the rush Zoro because I figured that I have to force him to have his Zeph in hand, and because our hand is not looking so great to start off, we do have to play a little bit greedier and hope for the best. Unfortunately, he did have that Zeph in hand, and so maybe playing the rush Zoro was just the better play there. But hindsight's 2020. I believe when you're in a bad matchup or if you have a bad hand, that you can opt to play two ways. You can either play greedier or you can play more aggressive. And in this case, considering we are law into a crocodile, I do think that going the more aggressive route is the play here. So we're just going to maximize the attacks by swinging two 7Ks, utilizing our starter deck Nami there to attach the rest of Dawn as well. And just start applying some early pressure here and really just speed up the game. But of course, me trying to rush him down also means that we're here at what is this, turn 3, turn 4, and I also don't have the usual law board full of one cost blockers, or I can't really even shambles yet or anything, so it leaves me exposed. So he's going to try to rush me down as well, just because I'm just as exposed as he is. So he's going to go for the highest tempo play here. He's just going to swing with his board and then bounce back my Rush Zoro with another Zeph. This one doesn't hurt as badly as the starter Zoro, so we did get an attack in. So a little bit of confusion here. You're going to be wondering why he just milled the top 4 cards of his deck. He was actually running the pre-errata version of Zeph, which states that you do have to trash 2 cards on the top of your deck if you bounce something back. We found out later from a judge that you don't actually have to do this. It was errated out, but at the time we thought this was just the best way to resolve it. Just pretend you milled those top 4 earlier. So I finally draw Bonnie here, and playing her was kind of a Hail Mary play here, just hoping to get a blocker law or something to get us going. Unfortunately, we were only able to get a beige, but at the very least that enabled us to actually fill up our board and use our leader ability for once in this game. And so that's exactly what I'm going to do here. Just going to start dropping the 1 cost blockers, play Brook, and then just continue our game plan, just swing 7 at leader here. Which he easily counters out. So after looking through this game, now I understand why this turn and this play here didn't exactly turn out how I originally planned it, and why it felt weird is because I swapped Brook out for Zoro, which of course you know is illegal because law doesn't need it to be an opposite color. And the reason it also felt weird was because in my head the play was a little bit better, because I believe that swapping the body out for the Zoro was the better play anyways. I can body again next turn by protecting her, and plus I get the 3k Brook body on the board. And so I accidentally misplayed there. Obviously a hindsight on my part, and he missed it as well. But it does, I think, turn out against me, because I definitely would have preferred Bonnie in my hand and Brook on the board there. But unfortunately, we weren't able to catch it at the time. And so here he just realizes how dangerous Bonnie is by leaving her up. So he does swing into her, which was something I wanted to prevent by shambling her out for Zoro, as I mentioned earlier. Then he is going to try to swing at my Zoro, which I'm going to try and protect because I do need him alive. And then he's going to Soya King. and bounce my blocker back to my hand. So bouncing back that Beige was actually pretty huge for him because it forced me to counter out from my hand to protect the Zoro, and as a result it cost me an Automa and a Brook, which I sorely need to fill up my board, and I did want that extra Automa to help me clear out the board here. So first we're going to quickly clear out that first Zeph pretty easily. Then we're going to swing at the second Zeph here, and he's forced to use a blocker. And it made me think that maybe he didn't have the counters in hand to protect it. So I swing into it again, and he may have just baited me there. And he blocks it, he counters it out with the 3 Pacifistas there. I was hoping he would. We've seen so many counters already. I was just hoping that he didn't have any more counters in hand to protect that. And we could have gone for life, which I think may in general been the better play, but I was thinking if we're able to get rid of the Zeph here, suddenly we've pretty much stabilized and we have board control, and we might be able to just win out the game through regular board control rather than rushing him down now. And of course, since he knows that my last card in hand is an Automa, all he has to do is swing 2000 power over any target, and I will be forced to either let that character go or take that damage. And that's exactly what he does. He swings 2000 over Zoro, and then it forces me to use a Beige to block it out, and then he's going to do it again to get rid of Zoro, which of course I cannot protect. Then he's going to swing 7000 to my leader. Then he's just going to start blockering up here. And at this point now, he has full control of this game, and I am in pretty dire straits. I wanted to use up the Beige. There is an argument to save the Beige to the Zoro go. I did want to have the Zoro eat up an extra attack by protecting it once with a Beige, because he does have to protect it. I'm sorry, swing at it. And so unfortunately, he just has a very strong turn here, clears out our board, and then he finishes it off by bouncing back our starter Zoro, putting us a little bit farther out of reach than we would like for lethal here. So I'm just going to drop the Chopper here to utilize that free Dawn. So after just playing out the possible plays in my head, I realize I am pretty much dead. There's no way I can deal 5 damage to him, especially considering I only have 4 characters. The cards in my hand were just counters. I did finally draw Bonnie off of my last life, but that would have been more useful this turn. But unfortunately, we didn't have it yet, and so I'm kind of just playing it out and hoping that he makes a mistake on his hand. Maybe Tunnel Visions tries to clear my board just to play safe. But if you're hoping for a misplay, you know you're pretty doomed. And I realize at this point there is no out, and I am just mathematically dead the following turn. And he knows that as well. As long as he swings with at least 7k with these characters, with these hits, that he's got game. And that's exactly what he's going to do. He's just going to put out the Dawn here, just in case there's a random jet pistol or anything. Although laws don't typically run that anymore. But just in case, you never know. So he's going to swing, he's going to start swinging, and then I just realize it's pretty much over after taking this last life. There was nothing that really could save me, and so I kind of just forfeit the game right there. And he managed to win this match, and he goes on to finish the tournament at first place. So congrats to him as well. So thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you enjoy the content. If you guys like this type of content, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel. And until next time, I'll talk to you guys later.